Hey guys, how's it going? So you seem to like my video on to revise for paper 1. This video is on topics I would highly recommend revising for papers 2 and 3. So this is based on my past experiences of going through practice papers, specimen papers and past papers and getting a feel for what type of question likes to pop up on which paper. General calculatory topics, so things that really we need a calculator for, and what I've heard came up and didn't come up in paper 1. So by no means is this a complete list of every single thing that you should revise. This is a list of things I highly recommend revising. Okay, so first up, for these two papers we've got our calculators with us. Sure, the other day I did a video on all the tips and tricks, the secret things your calculator can do that you might not know that it can do. So, if you haven't checked that out already, I would recommend checking that out. I will link this video down below in the description of this video. If you're going into the papers without knowing all of the things your calculator can do for you, you are going in with an unnecessary weakness. Secondly, when it comes to what to revise, I have gone through all of last year's papers in handy step-by-step walkthrough videos, so I would highly recommend, if you haven't yet, checking those out, going through those. If you've already done those for mocks, who cares, that was a while ago. You should have learned some more stuff since then, so that the best approximation are a real life paper, because they were real life papers. So all of those will be linked down below in the description of this guide too. Okay, so over to the list of things to revise. So first up, I would highly recommend making sure you are happy with decimal places and significant figures. So these are the papers where you're going to be using your calculator to get horrible answers to questions, and they are going to ask you to give your answer either to a certain number of decimal places or significant figures. Make sure you know what both of those are, otherwise you're going to lose out on, quite simple marks to get. Okay, number 2, percentage increase and decrease. So either when we want to increase or decrease a number by a certain percentage, or reverse percentage problems, or compound interest, or simple interest, things like that. If you want to revise this, I have a playlist called percentage increase and decrease. Number 3, Pythagoras and trigonometry. So another one for you all here. For the foundation minions, you only really need basic Pythagoras and SOHCAHTOA trigonometry. If you want to revise either of those, I have playlists. Higher minions, when it comes to these, you might have Pythagoras or trig inside of a 3D shape. There's playlists on those, and also with trigonometry, you've got your sine rule, cosine rule, area of a triangle with trigonometry, and your trig graphs and trig equations. So you want my higher trigonometry playlist. Number 4, I'm going to go with error intervals. Error intervals, and for the higher, also bounds. So bounds in particular for a calculator heavy stuff. Error intervals, they could have come up on paper 1, but they tend to come up more on paper 2 or 3. So if you're looking for error intervals or you don't know what they are, I have 2 videos on those, so definitely check those out. Bounds at the moment I'm a little bit light on. If you want examples on those higher people, let me know down below in the comments and I will make them happen. 5. Loci and construction. So this is when you use your compass and rulers to either construct perpendicular bisectors or bisecting an angle, finding a certain area of a shape, stuff like that. It's quite likely that is going to come up in one of the next 2 papers, so make sure that you're at least happy with bisecting a line and bisecting an angle. So again, videos on that. And number 6, we're going to go for reverse mean. So these are the type of questions where you are told the mean of a set of data and then maybe a new piece of data is added to the set and you want to work out what the new mean would be. Again, I've got 2 videos on that, so if you're rusty or curious on those, search those out. For number 7, we're going to go for sequences. So there's lots we can do with sequences. There's lots of different sequences. We've got arithmetic, geometric, quadratic, Fibonacci. We can find nth terms. We can find pattern numbers. All sorts of things. Loads of videos on this. Search out my playlist called sequences, funnily enough. So in particular, for the higher minions, I would recommend being quite happy with finding the nth term of a quadratic sequence. Sometimes if that comes up, we can get as many as 4 marks for it. So that's pretty tasty, because it's the type of question they can't really turn into a weird word question. So check that out. At number 8, we're going to go for some vector action. So foundation minions, as far as vectors go, I think all you really need to know is how to add and subtract column vectors and also how to multiply those by a certain number. With higher minions, it's more geometry wise with your algebraic vectors, stuff like that. I have a big playlist on vectors. If you're rusty there, check that out. At number 9, we're going to go for higher only, so foundation minions. You can completely ignore this. Iteration. So solving equations using iteration for the higher minions. So this is very, very calculatory stuff. In fact, your calculator can make this so easy. If you don't know how to use your calculator for iteration, check out my video on iteration. It's pretty simple once you know how to use your... Okay, and at number 10, I'm going to go with a cheeky bit of geometry. So geometry is incredibly vague. It's a topic all in itself. So things like straight line graphs, y equals mx plus c, finding gradients, finding y-intercepts, missing angle problems. This sort of thing didn't seem to get much action in paper 1, so there's a very strong likelihood we will see it in papers 2 and or 3. So in particular here I would check out my playlist, Equations of Straight Lines, where we go over how to find gradients, y-intercepts, all in separate videos. So hopefully that's going to be quite useful to you. In the number 11, we're going to go for graphs. So that might sound just like number 10, but plotting quadratic graphs, for example, inequalities and graph regions, that didn't seem to come up yet. So in particular, I would recommend checking out those 2, and also plotting straight line graphs and stuff. That's also quite handy. So then at number 12, we're going to go for a cheeky bit of unit conversion. So I know we all love a bit of unit conversion. It's quite tricky. So again, that's very calculatory stuff. After this video, I'm going to do 2 or 3 unit conversion questions so you can get a feel for them. Okay, 13, we're going to go for algebra. Again, so algebra will have turned up on paper 1, it will be on paper 2, and it will be on paper 3. It loves it. So algebra is such a vague topic. There's so much we can do with algebra. Expanding, factorising, forming and solving equations, double bracket expansions, triple bracket expansions, simultaneous equations. There is so much of it. So in particular, I don't think simultaneous equations came up yet. So foundation minions, you want to make sure you are happy with linear simultaneous equations and word problems. Higher, you guys need that too. And maybe also quadratic simultaneous equations using graphs to solve simultaneous equations, etc. If there's any algebra you're still not really that happy with, try and make yourselves a little bit more happy with it, because, yeah, like I say, you are going to see algebra on the next 2 papers. So I would hope by now I pretty much have videos on pretty much all things algebra, so search it out. If it doesn't exist, let me know, I will make it exist. Okay, number 14, Best Buy. So, Best Buy absolutely loves calculator papers, so this is very real life stuff, where we want to work out what is the best value for money, which is the best way to buy something for as cheap as possible. So I've got quite a few videos on Best Buy. If you want more, let me know and I will do more. Okay. Up next, quite a big one for both of you, higher and foundation, frequency tables. So these are the questions where you've got data either in a frequency table or a grouped frequency table, and you might be asked about the mean, median, mode and range of data from these tables. So if you're not happy on these yet, I do have a playlist called Frequency Tables. Check it out. Homer Simpson turns up. It's a great time. Number 16, we're going to go for transformations. So this is one for you both, transformations of shapes on graphs. So these include translations, rotations, enlargements and reflections. So you need to know how to carry all of these out, and you also need to know how to describe them. It's another type of video that I'm meaning to do more examples on. If you want them desperately, let me know and I will prioritise them. For higher minions, you also need to know about transformations of graphs. So if you're not happy with transformations of graphs, I would recommend checking those out. 17. Now this is really the last one for foundation minions, and that is, make sure to revise your formulas. So your areas, your volumes, Pythagoras, trigonometry, rules of indices that might still come up. Make sure you are as happy as you can get yourself with formulas. This applies to higher guys too, but I'm going to go on now and go over some more higher specific topics. But make sure you can get yourself as happy as possible, remembering as many as you can of your formulas. Okay, so now on to some higher specific topic. Okay, number 18. So coming off of formulas, your quadratic formula. So using the quadratic formula to solve quadratics is extremely likely to come up. So it's a horrible formula. Let's write it down here, why not? So your quadratic formula is x is minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. In my personal opinion, the ugliest of all the formulas that you need to learn. But as I said, it's quite likely it will come up. A way to spot that you need to use the quadratic formula instead of factorising is they will ask for your solutions either to decimal places or significant figures or in the third form. So those three things tell us, okay then, it's time to bust out the quadratic formula, yay. Okay, number 19. Velocity slash speed time graphs. So these are when we have velocity or speed going up the side, time going along the bottom. We might be accelerating, in which case we need to work out the rate of change of velocity or speed at a given time, for which we would draw a tangent at that point, or we might be needing to work out the distance travelled over the whole time or over a certain time, in which case we work out the area underneath the graph. So those are pretty good ones to check out. Again, I think I'm pretty light on videos on those, so if you want them, let me know, I will make them happen. Next up, cumulative frequency and histograms. So these guys love papers 2 and 3, so it's extremely likely you will see cumulative frequency and histograms. So either you will be asked to plot a cumulative frequency diagram and then probably asked to use it to find a median value or an interquartile range, something like that. And with histograms, you will probably be asked to draw a histogram, or you'll be given a histogram and asked what's wrong with it, or estimating certain amounts from a histogram. So it's extremely likely you will need these skills. So check those out. Again, actually I think I'm quite light on those types of questions. If you want them, let me know. Up next, we're going to go for function notation. So function notation is stuff like f of x, fg of x, which is your composite functions, f minus 1 of x, which is your inverse functions. So I've got a massive playlist on functions. The videos in there are pretty, I'm quite happy with them. I put a lot of time in there to try and make this nonsense make as much sense to you as it possibly can. So if you're still finding functions a struggle, check that out. Hopefully that will help you. Okay, then one last thing, I'm just going to say inequalities. So you guys in higher have quite a lot more to do with inequalities than foundation. Quadratic inequalities for a start. Solving those was quite tricky. I remember when I was doing my A-levels, I didn't really understand what was going on with them then. I've got a video on it where we go through loads and loads of examples. Hopefully that will make sense. Regions on graphs with inequalities, that's quite likely to come up. So just try and make sure you're happy with all things inequalities. Okay guys, I think that's it for this video. So this might seem like a lot, but remember we've got 2 papers, so I had to make quite a big list. By no means is this everything that's going to come up. Hopefully most of it will come up, so this list doesn't set you off on the wrong direction. Obviously I can't predict the the future. I'm using information that I've got to try and make the best list for you that I can. So under no circumstances is guaranteed to all come up. Hopefully most of it will. Good luck. If you want more examples of any types of these questions, let me know. I will make them happen as soon as possible. Okay guys, take care, good luck.